Oh, the cicadas, it sounds lovely. Can you hear the cicadas? You know, I'm really conscientious about the sun now. I'm not going out to rob a bank or anything. It's just the sun. First day that we've had in 2 months that's, you know, under 98 degrees Fahrenheit, give or take a few degrees. So we came out to Thornscrubsanctuary to show you the parcel of property that we just got thanks to your support, thanks to viewer support, etc. So let's take a look at what we got. You can see we just, you know, just tons of Leucophyllum frutescens, the quote-unquote Texas sage. No relation to sage aside being, you know, from being in the same order, Lamiales. This is family Scrophulariaceae. Does great in the landscape. But and there's only a few of them here, but you can really see just how lovely it looks. All right, we got the calcareous soils. We got Sidnea tenuifolia, blackbrush, Tequilia, Cenizo all lit up, boraginaceae. Look at that thing. How often you see Tequilia actually blooming? They got a ton of rain out here. Unfortunately, we did miss the Mexican burrowing toads. I have to do a video on those later at some point. But, you know, we got this parcel of property. It's protected. Let's go check out what else is going on. I didn't even realize you got Passiflora tenuiloba right there. It's a passion flower. Those little trifolia purple leaves. Holy shit. Amazing how they just hide. We got buffle right there. Buffle grass. You have to pull that out. One of those DYCs, either Gutierrezia or one of the other. Oh, that's nice. Look at that. Oh, look, there's a little spider on there too. Oh, it's a lovely day out here. It's a high of 93 and everything's lit up. They got a bunch of rain. You can see Heffia is blooming. Little known species of Asteraceae. You got only one single flower at the top of that inflorescence, so it's escape. And make a nice note of those phylaries, because that's the most diagnostic thing about DYCs, damn yellow composites, because they all look the same from the top. See how it's got these bracts that subtend the actual involucre itself. Almost looks like a kind of like a tulip shaped array of subtending bracts. Of course, the whole goddamn thing's woolly. This spot I think we'll name Nahuatlia Hill, or Goknadia Hill too. Oh look, Zinnia acerosa is going off. That's a great fucking species. I wish this was used more in South Texas native plant gardening. A wild zinnia that's just adapted to taking a beating by the sun. So we'll name this Nahuatlia Hill because this little shrub out here is Nahuatlia. It's a South Texas species, only place in the U.S. it grows. It's a shrub species of Asteraceae composite, and there was a little peyote here at the base. Where the fuck did it go? It was here last time. You know, but you could see how a peyote could blend in, obviously. I don't know where the hell that thing is. I was just looking for it, but I don't know where the peyote went. Anyway, look at the bark on the Nahuatlia. What a great tree. Not flowering yet. When it does, it's covered in butterflies. Nice crust of lichens. Oh, it's lit up too. Look at it. So it never actually turns brown. It's got, you know, enough other pigments in there, probably carotenoids, to keep it brown. It doesn't ever turn green. Everything's lit up. Over here we got Aloysia macrostachya, Verbanaceae. The pink flowered Aloysia, you get white brush, you know, Aloysia gratissima here as well. They both smell pretty good. They got opposite leaves. The leaves are opposite each other on the stem, like most members of Verbanaceae. And then there's those flowers. Look how hairy the calyces are. Look at it. Hairs all over them sepals. Great plant. Does really good in a garden setting too. Normally I think I'm liking a little bit more water, but you can see this is just growing open and exposed on a gravel pile. All these gravels, of course, brought here by an ancient Rio Grande. Leucophyllum, doing fine. That's another beast of a plant that can just take a beating. Oh, we got a Cordia rencinata leaves under there. See those leaves with that super laciniate margin to the leaf? Little verbena, possibly Verbena halii, unless there's another species I'm not aware of. That's what it looks like. The inflorescence on halii is more of a spike though, but this might just be a low-grown one. This is so funny. Sidnea tenuifolia, the plant they call skeleton leaf goldeneye. I don't understand why. But, you know, here it's doing okay here, but in a garden setting it gets like 5 feet tall. They thrive when you give them water. So like a lot of things, they'll get a lot bigger. The way you see them in situ, in habitat, is not the same way they're going to behave in cultivation. This is a phenomenal. This is a phenomenal plant in cultivation. Like just a large shrub, you know, grows really fast, will volunteer itself. Oh, look at this cute little grass. What species is that? Love a little desert grass. You know, I should have brought some hydrochloric acid. Oh, look, there's some petrified wood. Should have brought some hydrochloric acid just to test on that caliche. Just, you know, just to get a nice fizzy reaction. It's all natural cement that's just been precipitated out of water. It's amazing anything is able to grow in this stuff too. I mean, these rocks are hot as shit. That's a little Zinnia seedling germinating, I think. Really gives you an idea. Look at the zinnia too. Such a beast. Why is that not in cultivation? You know, I found where a bunch had germinated like too much. It was going to crowd each other out. I dug one up, took it home. It's thriving. Happy as a pig in shit in full sun in a pot, in like a big pot, but a pot. Oh, a little ancestral cactus. If ancestral cactus is growing in the shade, that's kind of surprising because they normally like getting blasted. Oh, this is nice. Look at this little hedioma. It's a little mint. Ah, I saw it last time I was here, but I didn't see it lit up because it hadn't just gotten a bunch of rain. I was able to find a few flowers still going off. This thing is like, God, it smells so good too. Oh. Oh, this is nice. And this is where the peyotes and the Echinocereus enneacanthus hang out together. Oh, look, that one's flowering. And then here, this classic guy. This is going to be one to remember because it's a big clump of echinos hanging out with one single, protecting one little yote beneath it. And Echinocereus enneacanthus. This is where you really get to see them in their full glory. No buffalo grass, minimal buffalo grass, and you can see them just going off. Look, in barren soils. Get this little Titusstromia here. Amaranthaceae. See these spots where the soil's all turned up, makes you wonder if that's probably pig damage, I would assume. So we're gonna have to set a couple pig traps. We got that oxalis out here too. It's a very weird oxalis. Oh, this is nice here. You rarely see this in the valley anymore. You rarely see this in South Texas. Just barren soil. That's a whole colony. That's all the same plant of Jatropha dioica. You rarely see this where you have a whole barren area with no buffalo grass. Like there's no buffalo here at all. Nice cobrilinia over there. That's related to mustard. That crucifixion thorn looking thing, just photosynthetic stems. You get it all the way to western Arizona. I've seen some at Kofa National Wildlife Refuge before. In little canyons though, it's more of a relic plant over there. It doesn't grow out in the open like this. Little peyotes just growing straight out of the mud. No buffalo grass to shade them out. Look at that beautiful farina. A little sunscreen, bunch of wax. You can see, look, these pigs. Yeah, see the pigs were digging over there. There should be a lot more yotes, but looks like there's been some pig activity. They're not messing the Echinocereus though. Karwinskii. Yeah, there's a nice, look, this is a nice, you know, for some of those guys that like doing habitat recreation, this would be nice. You get the log, the half-buried log, this little yote, some mild scarring from some sort of pathogen over there on that little, but look how uneven the land is. They're both by water and probably by pigs, maybe javelinas as well. There's like 15, maybe 10 peyotes in the frame right there. Oh, that's beautiful, beautiful mammillaria. Beautiful mammillaria spherica. You bring the kids out here, you know, and they don't want to be out here, because, you know, and I understand, I don't fault them for it. No one gives a shit about this stuff when you're a kid. You gotta get older and realize how much, you know, the human world we've made actually sucks ass before you can, you know, learn to appreciate stuff like this. So my kid hates it too. I bring her out to places like this. She don't care. Look, so you can see those clumps. Looks like it's been cut. It's been harvested at some point. So or the top's been damaged by the pigs, probably more likely. You know, the little Rhabdotus snail shells. All right, iconic emblem of South Texas, the desert snails, desert adapted snails. Yeah, see, so that, like that, all those four, that's all the same plant. But see how that one's curled over? That wasn't cut by a peyotero, because I would have made a clean cut and take the whole top. That was damaged probably by pigs. See the same thing over there. See, they sprout those heads. That's probably, who knows when that was damaged. Could have been 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. But if they got a big root, they'll re-sprout pretty quick, because they get all that energy stored up. Oh, that's beautiful to me. Look at that. Wonderful habitat. Hands and knees habitat for sure, but great. Oh, this is nice to see. Ephedra pedunculata. That's a great species. The vining ephedra. Vining blue stems. Cool phytochemistry. Big mammillaria hyderi hiding beneath Echinocereus enneacanthus. Look at that ephedra. Look at that. See? Vining up through this hackberry, this Celtis. Oh, it's such a great species. I'm stoked that's here. It did smell like pig shit here, though. Look at this. And, of course, the whole ground is alive. That's all lichen. Oh, a little bit of cloud cover. So nice. Caliche. What is that? Oh, the ants are doing that, I think. I wonder what species of ant that is. Yeah, see, there's more of that ephedra. So little blue stems, relatives of Welwitschia. Lots of mesquite pods. Thank you. Nice Cobralinia growing up in the mesquite. Cobralinia spinosa, again, order Brassicales, stem photosynthetic plant. Western end of the range is, I think it's in Baja too, but it's certainly in western Arizona. But you could chew on those. I like chewing on those mesquites, you know. These are kind of baked. If they're not baked yet, you get a little bit of sweetness. You just got to spit out the seeds. Of course, you can make flour out of them. Look, more of that ephedra. Look, just popping up like grass. Crazy to think that things related to Welwitschia. More closely related to Welwitschia than any other plant that we're surrounded by. I shouldn't have spoken. It's not more closely related to Welwitschia than any other plant here, because this is another species of ephedra. This is Ephedra antisyphilitica. Look how thick those stems are compared to these ones. You can really see it when the reproductive structures are out, which aren't flowers, they're cones, because it's a gymnosperm. Oh, look, Cobralinia is flowering. That's nice to see. Oh, don't see this too much. Look at that. Tiny flowers, smell kind of starchy. Flies do a lot of the pollinating. 4 petals, 8 stamens, central green ovary, topped by a style. The 4 petals, 8 stamens thing does kind of give it away as a potential synapomorphy to the mustards, because, you know, all Brassicaceae, Brassicaceae's got 4 petals, but they got 6 stamens. A little different. Great plant, though. This is the mesquite, this is the Cobralinia. This is cool. This is buffalo grass, which is what everybody thinks you're saying when you say buffalo grass. Buffalo grass is invasive. Buffalo grass, aka Bouteloua dactyloides, is native. Wonderful little grass, but it's growing ensconced and protected by this Echinocereus. Oh, this is funny. So look, this thing's growing up through a dead Opuntia. This loaf is, look at that. It looks like it grew etiolated in the shade of this dead, where is that in the Echinocereus? That looks like an Opuntia. This whole thing's an Opuntia. It's a dead prickly pear. And then once it finally bursted through the shade, then it's popped up, kind of got a new head. And then it's all covered in the farina. So it made it through. It was able to just sit dormant while this thing slowly rotted on top of it and then pop up and keep growing. Little game trails cut in a lichen. God, those cicadas are such a perfect coffee. I hate standing on this. I feel bad. Look at that little guy popping up. Little seedling popped up. Oh, look at all those fatties over there. That's nice. They're healthy. Healthy. About probably 9 inches deep in the ground. Just pulled these gilled polypores off of that this branch of rotting mesquite. And then there's those little ants. Where'd they go? Oh yeah, there they are. See those little guys? They're little runners. Dual runner. Little runners. Probably helping take apart that log, helping it decompose. It's weird though. Normally you see pores on most of the polypores. Those shelf mushrooms. See a gilled one. That's kind of weird. I wonder what species that is. Gotta ask Alan. Something big lives in there. That's a big goddamn hole. That Ziziphus. You don't often see Ziziphus with leaves on it.
buckthorn family Rhinaceae, Ziphus obtusifolia. That's another plant you get all the way west into the Sonoran Desert. Beautiful glaucous color, but then when times get harsh, it does that and, you know, drops its leaves. Well, that's just new growth, but it's got those branches that taper into spines like many members of Rhamnaceae do. God, look at that massive peyote back there. We got a little bit of rain just now. Look at that, there's a nice clump. There's two nice clumps. I'm not going to zoom in on them, I'll let you see. I'll let you see them. We'll do a little Where's Waldo. That Techilia, man. It's a cool genus. You get a couple species in California, Arizona. They always stay kind of low. Techilia gregii is kind of more of a subshrub. Maybe a little shrub. You could even call it a shrub. Beautiful pink flowers when it goes up. That's a West Texas limestone species. But Cenizo, I mean, look at it. You never see it flowering because it's always so extreme out here. But, you know, you get some rain and they light up. I'm surprised that's not common in cultivation down here. You know, but Echinocereus enneacanthus is really the stunner here. Just the lichen on everything, too. I'm so curious what this lichen species is because it's kind of a keystone organism. What would the landscape be like if you didn't have this black lichen to hold all the ground together? Would it just wash off? Little hyderi hiding over there, see that? The cicada species, I think it's Picorina. I might be messing up the genus name. I just learned it recently. That looks like pig damage. We're gonna have to trap and kill the pigs. It's just what you do. Oh, the blackbrush still has seeds out. Recently, I realized that, you know, the seeds don't drop automatically, because if they did, this is my theory at least, me and Michael Eason, if the seeds dropped automatically, they'd be snatched up by quail, because they're so easy to get on the ground, they're safe up here. You get a good rain, the rain knocks them off, and then they germinate soon after. And even when this plant germinates, the seedlings smell like hydrogen sulfide. They smell like, you know, sewer gas. It's some sort of sulfur compound, which probably, you know, has a defensive effect for the seedlings, prevents them from getting eaten by anything. Because, I mean, it's real. I mean, you could smell it when you're standing up. We were walking on a dirt road, and there was blackbrush seedlings germinating in the sandy loam, because that was the substrate. Got a good soaking where this was, and I was smelling this like rotten egg hydrogen sulfide smell, and then looked down and realized it was thousands upon thousands of blackbrush seedlings germinating. That's a nice clump. Little seedlings everywhere too, little babies. But see, something's digging. Is that armadillos or pigs? Probably pigs. Look at all the little seedlings everywhere. See that? It's amazing. There's decent recruitment. That's good. That's always nice to see. Looks like there's definitely been water running through here. Oh, that's kind of funny. Look at that guy. How unearthed he is. That looks like armadillo action. Looks like the water did a little bit, and then maybe it's like a little armadillo trail through there. Look at that. That's an iconic individual. I'm not trying to just show you peyote here. There's just so much of it. It's mostly peyote. Most of the cacti, at least. I really would love to show you one of those cicadas, but that's a beautiful individual. Not many have been flowering. You can see the water has really worked on these. I mean, they're growing on a mound, and the water is slowly weathering, just kind of eroding this whole mound. Look at this guy. Where's he going? Where's that guy going? So we're on a gentle slope, and the water's kind of slowly taken away. That's got to be a 100-year-old plant, probably, maybe more. But there's mild fungus damage on a lot of these, which might just be because they're not, you know, because it's kind of shady, a little humid, a little wet. Wetter than they would like. There's a very old individual over there. Oh, there's Echinocereus poselgri. That's nice to see. There's a big tuberous root. Who knows if it was bigger at some point, then it's just a relic that dropped. But that means there's probably many others here as well. It's nice to see. Woo! It's spicy again. Heliotropium going off. It's a nice one. That's another plant that gets about, I don't know, 5 feet wide in a garden setting. The leaves smell like rotting fish when they're dead, though, which is bizarre. So some weird phytochemistry. But you got that scorpioid cyme. The way all those tiny flowers kind of curl off like that, like a little scorpion tail. I'd love to be out here during a good rain. You could see you get at least a foot of water right there. Xiphus looking nice. Hackberry, Leucophyllum, Karwinski, Tasahio. Massive enneacanthus clumps. No buffalo grass growing in between it. Peyote everywhere. Cicadas everywhere. Rhabdotus everywhere. The nice enneacanthus fruit. It's delicious. You know, this one's a little rotten, but all those seeds are still good. I really want to get one of these damn cicadas, man. They're up there, but they blend in. I mean, they're like an inch long. They blend in with the goddamn lichen, and they're smart enough to know to hang out on the tops of the branches. They move around the branch when they sense you beneath them. Oh, I found him. Look, there he is. There's no hiding from us now. Oh yeah, you got a real nice motif. I like your colors, I like your getup, like your design. See how it blends in with the trees, with the mesquite. That's nice. Are you? When you gonna? No, you're not ovipositing. You're likely male. When you gonna find someone? When you gonna get a? When you gonna get married? Find somebody to oviposit with. See, now we're in the Tasahio corner, where Cylindropunchuleptocaulus really has a monopoly. You got these huge colonies everywhere. There's Echinocereus pentalophus too. So I'm taking photos of everything, and I'll put it on iNet, and then I'll have a nice little. I could just draw a polygon around our property, and I'll have a nice list of everything that occurs on our property. The Tachilia, the Parthenium, the Cylindropunch. Oh, that breeze feels amazing. Echinocereus enneacanthus, etc. I really want to see if that tortoise is out. The one I saw last time. She was so sweet, you know. Oh, that cloud cover's amazing. You know, those tunas aren't too bad. You get them at the right time of year, as long as it's been hot. I think the temperatures have to be hot for them to taste good. You take them off with tongs, shave them off with a potato peeler or a really sharp knife, and then eat them. They're like the color of a beet. Same pigment, betalanes. They taste actually sweet though. Ah, just saw a little bee in there. Tiny, tiny bees. A lot of these bee species have probably not been documented in many other places in the United States. Ah, fuck. See, that's what they do. They go and they hide in the stamens. They go down to the base of that flower looking for, I suppose, nectar. They're probably getting a little bit of pollen too. This is a really nice individual though. I mean, and then there's another one over there. And look how rich that duff is. The soil here is probably immaculate, you know? Immaculate and hyper diverse with microbes, with fungi, with beneficial bacteria. I just can't get over there's no buffle here. We went from trying to get a restoration project where we were just going to plant a bunch of different cacti to basically doing active habitat conservation. 99% of this will go into conservation easement, so it can never be developed. Even if, the board gets dissolved and we all croak or whatever the fuck, nuclear, I guess nuclear blast be kind of, but you know what I'm saying. Now that bee, I got to put this down and see if I can, break out my macro lens, get a photo of whoever's going in there. Oh, that's nice. Echinocereus enneacanthus fruit. It's a little warmer than I'd like, but off that guy right there. But it's delicious, sweet as hell. You could probably, grow it in cultivation, harvest these. And the spines come off readily. The whole area will just dehisces when the fruits mature, which is an adaptive trait if you want mammals to eat your seed and eat your fruits, disperse your seed. So you get Tasahio flowering, massive old yotes back there. Massive old one there. How old is that? You can see the ground's kind of been weathered away around it. Those desert termites have built a little home. They don't hurt it. They just eat decaying matter. You can see they've ensconced they've plastered mud to the sides of it. See, I don't want to put the smushy fruit in my pocket, so you know when I'm harvesting seeds from these, I'll just smush them on paper. So I'll just do this prematurely, smush it on my hat, let it dry out, and then when I get home, it'll be a nice dry crust that I could just scrape off. Ah, there you go, huh? On a mesquite, a desert cicada from the Peyote Gardens of South Texas. Exquisite. What a fucking cool landscape. See look how uneven it is too. It's all just disturbance by water. This gentle slope. We gave the dog some water. We gave Louie some water. You know, she's being melodramatic. This little arroyo is super rich. A lot of good stuff growing on the sides here though. Don't get stabbed by the apuncha. Yeah, see, I wonder we got to put game cameras up here too. I would be stoked to find out that there's ocelots here. You know, I mean, a peyote's nice, that's nice, but you got ocelots on your property. That's pretty, you know, makes it all the more worthy as a conservation easement. Look at that little yoke growing in that log over there. It's beautiful. Looks like these guys are flowering. They look a lot healthier than those ones that had all the fungus on them. Again, I think that fungus is just from the shade. They kind of like the shade. You know, it's hard to get the lighting right. You know, you get overgrown by something, it's too shady, the fungus can move in. But see, these, that's getting blasted right now, but then as the sun moves, it'll get a little bit of shade from the overlying mesquite. This dwarfed mesquite, you got blackbrush behind it, you'll get a little bit of shade. It's not just getting out there getting cooked, but it's also not totally in the shade as well. I think that when they're totally in the shade, that's when they get a little bit of fungal damage, or the opportunistic fungus can move in. Ah, beautiful specimen Hibiscus martianus. Nice understory of the blackbrush. That red sand. Big xylocopa just went by. Look at it. Thornscrub hibiscus. That's a nice one. Curious what these caterpillars are, but there's a ton of them. Well, this guy just jumped off. It's pretty ballsy for a lepidopteran. All over the Guajillo. The Senegalia berlandii. Multiple stems. One of the many legumes that enrich the soil here. Oh, I felt the raindrop. That's nice. There's some Poselgeri right there at the base of this mesquite. It's going to be easy to remember. It's one of the only shrubs, one of the only things above 6 feet tall. There's another Poselgeri right there. Blending in as it does. Nice Isonhardia. Wonderful legume. It smells incredible when it blooms. Oh, you really got to get down at ground level to see some of the cool stuff. See that thing with the pink flowers over there? It's also right here. I don't know what the hell it is. This is a new one for me. But basal rosette, and then it sends up a spike. Sends up a little scape. You can see those pink flowers just hanging. What the shit is this? And look how those bracts that subtend each one of those flowers are leuciniate. They've got fringe to them. God damn, that's kind of cool. That's a new one for me. Oh, look at that. Robber fly just nabbed the locust. Look at it. Ah, savage. Brutal. He's got that long tube on his ass. What's that do? So being that, you know, I haven't seen this before, and being that there's, I don't know, quite a few dozen of them, I dug one up. Look how long those roots are. I'm going to dig this up, make a voucher specimen of it, and accession it at either a Mobot or Sewell Ross or somewhere. Look at that fucking root, though. Jesus. That's impressive. Nice perennial. Definitely not an annual. Building roots like that almost go 10 inches into the ground.